Do you think I still deserve happiness? The coffee shop was quiet that Tuesday afternoon. Robert sat by the window, watching autumn leaves drift past the glass. He was 53, a widower, and this was his first blind date in 30 years. His daughter Emma had set it up. "Dad, it's been for years," she'd said gently. "Mom would want you to be happy." A woman approached his table, moving carefully, her hand trailing along the chair backs. She was younger than him, perhaps in her early 40s, with kind eyes that didn't quite meet his. "Robert?" she asked softly. "Margaret." He stood quickly. "Please, sit down." She found the chair with practiced ease, settling in with a small, nervous smile. Robert noticed the white cane folded beside her purse. They ordered coffee. The conversation started slowly, as these things do. Margaret spoke about her work at the local library, recording audiobooks for the visually impaired. Robert talked about his carpentry business, the satisfaction of working with his hands. There was something peaceful about her presence. No pretense. No performance. After a comfortable silence, Margaret set down her cup. Her hands trembled slightly. "Robert," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, "I need to ask you something before we go any further." He waited, sensing the weight of what was coming. "Do you think," she paused, gathering courage, "do you think I still deserve happiness?" The question hung in the air between them. Robert saw her eyes glistening, her fingers gripping the coffee cup as if it might anchor her. "Margaret," he said gently, "tell me what you mean." She took a shaky breath. "I lost my sight in a car accident 8 years ago. I was driving. My husband was in the passenger seat." Her voice cracked. "He didn't make it. And I survived, but I can't see anymore. I can't see the sunsets he loved. I can't see my daughter's face when she visits." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Some days I wonder if I have the right to seek happiness again. After what happened, after what I lost, after what I took from him." Robert felt his own throat tighten. He understood grief. He understood guilt. After his wife Sarah died from cancer, he'd spent months wondering if he'd done enough. Said enough, loved enough. He reached across the table, gently touching her hand so she'd know where he was. "Margaret, let me tell you what I see," he said softly. "I see a woman who had something terrible happen to her. Something that wasn't her fault. Even though I'm certain you've spent years telling yourself it was." She started to speak, but he continued, his voice warm and steady. "I see someone who survived. Someone who found a way to keep going when it would have been easier to give up. Someone who helps others hear the stories that matter." He paused. "And I see someone brave enough to show up here today to ask the hardest question there is. But how can I deserve happiness when he doesn't get any?" Robert thought of Sarah, of the last conversation they'd had. She'd made him promise not to disappear into grief. "Live for both of us," she'd whispered. "My wife Sarah," Robert said quietly, "made me promise something before she died. She said, 'Robert, don't you dare waste the time you have left. Don't you dare stop living just because I can't anymore.'" He squeezed Margaret's hand gently. "I think your husband would say the same thing. The people who love us don't want us to suffer forever in their memory. They want us to honor them by living fully, by finding joy again, by being open to whatever kindness comes our way." Margaret was crying now, but differently. These were softer tears. "Happiness isn't something we earn or deserve," Robert continued. "It's not a reward for being perfect or a punishment for making mistakes. It's just ... life. It's what happens when we let ourselves be human again." They sat together in that small coffee shop for another hour, talking about loss and hope, about the unexpected ways life continues, about the courage it takes to begin again. When they finally stood to leave, Margaret said, "Would you walk with me for a bit? There's a park nearby. I can't see it, but I love hearing the birds." "I'd like that," Robert said. "And if you'd like, I could describe what I see. The way the light falls through the trees, the colors of the leaves." She smiled, a real smile this time. "I would like that very much." As they walked out together, her hand resting lightly on his arm, neither of them knew what would happen next. but for the first time in years, both of them felt something they'd almost forgotten. The gentle possibility that life might hold something beautiful still. That sometimes, asking for happiness is the bravest thing we can do, and sometimes, the answer is already waiting in the kindness of a stranger who understands.